gymnasts are tuning up for the 1984 Olympic Games. And what kind of music will they make in Los Angeles? Medal-winning music. Gymnastics is a symphony of somersaults, a lyrical sport of strength, balance, and flexibility, where the body is the instrument and movement is its melody. For America's men, the season starts here in Las Vegas. In the past, Eastern Europeans have orchestrated Olympic triumphs, but now the U.S. has its own virtuosos. And you'll see them here as HBO presents a sports special. Palace Men's Gymnastics Invitational from Las Vegas, Nevada. We are here in the Sports Pavilion at Caesars Palace, where a full house crowd has gathered to see this event, a traditional and highly popular competition in Las Vegas, and they are on their feet as the gymnasts enter.
Well, there they are, the finest in American gymnastics history. Hello, everyone. I'm Greg Lewis, along with John Trietta. Welcome to Las Vegas for the 5th annual Caesars Palace Men's Gymnastics Invitational. You know, the city has long had a reputation for attracting big-time gamblers, great entertainers, and championship boxers. But now, John, it's also getting the best in American gymnastics as well.
Greg, these are the top gymnasts in the United States. They're here today. They just came off a recent competition, the World Championships, which as a team they took 4th place. But what's so important about this competition today is that this is the beginning of the season, the quest for gold. The gymnast who wins this meet today has really a major advantage and has the momentum in making the Olympic team.
And I know that there are some great names here. Scott Johnson, the defending champion, and of course Bart Conner, a veteran of many international championships. But I understand the team has more depth than ever before.
It certainly does. Jim Hartung, he was on the 1980 Olympic team also, and so was Phil Kawhi. These are the veterans. But we have two outstanding, wonderful gymnasts that have evolved, and they are Mitch Gaylord and Peter Wittmar. They are currently ranked number 1 and 2 in the United States, and they're my favorites to win this meet.
Well, our Olympic preview is about to begin, so let's go down to the floor.
And this 5th annual Caesars Palace Invitation will begin with a floor exercise. John, let's take a look back. 1980 Olympics, of course, the Americans weren't there. This was the winner in floor exercise. How does the event compare today?
Tumbling has really increased in difficulty. These men are now flying through the air. You'll see many difficult movements involving double back somersaults with full twists.
The floor exercise in Las Vegas begins with Scott Johnson, last year's all-around champion and a senior at the University of Nebraska.
Now here's the double back somersault with the full twist, Greg, and it was done in pike position, a very difficult beginning.
4 judges here. High and low scores will be dropped. The remaining scores average.
Look at the increase of the tumbling skill. 2 double back somersaults already in the routine. And now, demonstrating the control and balance required in the handstand position. He must demonstrate this for 2 seconds.
The key components of the floor exercise: strength, balance, and flexibility.
It helps if you have wings, too.
Scott looks very confident.
Straddle up into the handstand. He'll work his way into the corner and get set for his dismount, a very difficult tumbling pass. Here it goes. Round off back handspring, double back somersault with a full twist, a remarkable dismount, and a great landing.
Scott Johnson, the NCAA champion in floor exercise, and an impressive performance here, opening up the Caesars Palace Invitational. And you can see the confidence in his face. The crowd clearly enjoyed it. As we wait for the score, let's take a look again, John.
Well, I thought his dismount was great, but look at the dismount. A double back somersault with a full twist. He keeps his knees straight. This is in pike position. Incredibly difficult. I'm amazed.
The average for Scott on floor.
Scott Johnson scored 9.85, and he begins setting the pace here with a very high score. And now, Mario McCutcheon, 1982 Empire Cup all-around champion. Score to beat, 9.85.
Mario's first tumbling pass, round off back handspring, double back somersault with a full twist. I like the control the fellows are showing.
I notice his ankles are heavily taped, John.
They've been bothering him, and this is going to protect his ankles from the shock on floor exercise. Mario's known as a gymnast who has wonderful personal expression on all the events, and he can really show it on floor exercise. Watch this move. It's called the McCutcheon Summy. Oh ho. A 1 3/4 front somersault in straddle position.
I heard him talking about that. He mentioned that it was a little scary to him, very dangerous.
You don't want to go short on it and land on your head. His dismount, round of back handspring, double back somersault, just a little short, one step forward. That's going to cost him a 10th deduction. But otherwise, a very, very good routine.
Control so important in the overall presentation here, and of course that slight bobble we saw on his dismount.
Watch this, 1 3/4 front somersault in straddle position. Watch the head, up there, under control, back down to a split. I like it.
There is no room for error on that maneuver. Mario McCutcheon, the score, 9.80. That'll put him in second place right now. And this is Mitch Gaylord from UCLA, champion of the U.S.
Watch him fly. Full twisting, double back somersault. Mitch doesn't stop for a moment. He goes from one pass to the next. Here's the second tumbling pass immediately. Round of back handspring, Arabian 1 3/4 somersault to a front somersault.
You can barely say it as fast as he does it, and the height of his maneuvers is very high.
A chance for him to rest now and show the balance that's necessary in the handstand. Holds it for 2 seconds, and now a side pass. Round off, high dive roll. Very nice control. Oh, but a slight hop on that straddle rail. Less than a 10th deduction on that. Nothing serious.
Mitch Gaylord having very suddenly risen to the top of American gymnastics, a favorite for LA.
Let's see if he nails his dismount. Double back somersault, and he certainly does. And it's going to be a great score, Greg.
He seems content with it. Members of his family in the crowd cheering. Mitch Gaylord at 9.8 in the floor exercise. Coming up now, a veteran of the U.S. team, Bart Connor. The score to beat, 9.85.
Bart starts with a double back somersault with a full twist. Just slightly off balance on the landing, but he demonstrated a lot of control. Here's the second pass, a double back somersault. Bart is really upgrading his difficulty level, and here is a 2 1/2 twisting pirouette to a straddle. A little nice personal touch that Bart has always demonstrated on floor exercise.
And innovation, originality, very important part of gymnastics now, John, if you want to get those high scores.
Look at this planche and presses up on his fingertips.
Astounding strength.
Straddle, front somersault. And once again, a little bit different. On one knee for a landing. There's a chance for Bart to rest, show a little dance maneuver, work his way into the corner for his dismount. Round off, back handspring, double back somersault. Just a slight hop, and then another hop forward on his landing, and that's the only deduction I really saw.
Bart Connor being congratulated by his teammates and then chatting with Coach Paul Zert. Let's look at it again.
Here's 2 1/2 twisting pirouette, snaps down to a straddle position, showing that flexibility required.
Putting his personality into it, Bart Connor gets a 9.9 and takes the lead in the floor exercise. And now Tim Daggett, member of the U.S. World Championship team, must try to beat that 9.9.
Double back somersault and pike position, a little easier. than the tumbling passes we saw earlier. Double twisting back somersault. Very pretty form, and watch the flexibility and strength this man has. How's this?
I saw this in practice, and it amazes me.
Look at the hands. He spreads the hands way out. That's a difficult handstand.
Another one of the UCLA team members, and they seem to be strong there, which, John, should contribute to our overall success in Los Angeles.
They might have 3, possibly 4 gymnasts making the Olympic team.
And they will be competing with what might be called a home court advantage.
A scale. And really concentrating. This is what I like about Timmy Daggett. He really throws everything into it. And double back somersault, one big step backwards for a 10th deduction.
Tim Daggett is received well by this Las Vegas crowd, which knows a lot about gymnastics. The score, 9.80 for Tim Daggett. And now another one of the UCLA stars, Peter Vidmar, 1983 NCAA all-around champion. And the score to beat, still Bart Connor's 9.9.
We have the best here. And here, Peter starts his routine. Double back somersault with a full twist, and the control was marvelous on the landing. Double back somersault, just a slight hop. Less than a 10th deduction on the landing. Notice how he keeps his toes pointed. Legs straight. High V seat on his fingertips. Greg, whatever you do, don't practice this at home.
I couldn't even begin to try it. Beautiful performance from Peter Vidmar, going for that 9.9 if he wants to take the lead.
He's really an elegant gymnast, and he's very pretty to watch. Full twisting dive roll. Working his way into the corner. A scale, which is a movement, but also is a movement that allows the gymnast to rest before the last expenditure and burst of energy. Round off back handspring, double back somersault, the pike position, and a great landing. It's going to be a great score.
That looks very clean, and Peter Vidmar with a big smile waves to the crowd. He seems confident about that performance. As we wait for the score, his coach, Makoto Sakamoto, and the score, 9.90. That ties him with Bart Connor, and in the case of a tie, the highest individual judge's score is used as the determining factor. So Bart Connor wins the floor exercise with a 9.9, the silver medal, Peter Vidmar, and in third with a 9.85, Scott Johnson. Next up, the pommel horse, and this was 1980, the Moscow Games.
Magyar was the master of the 80 Olympics, but we now have the horseman for 84. Watch these men swing on the horse.
And the first one here in Las Vegas will be Jim Hartung, two-time NCAA all-around champion.
And 81, Caesars Palace all-around champion.
The swing is so important, no stops required. Double leg circles must predominate, and the gymnast must work the entire horse, up and down the horse. These are double leg circles. Now he's on one pommel while he's swinging on double leg circles. Extremely difficult maneuver. Back into the center, breaking into a scissor work called the flare, a back scissor, and front scissors that are required. These are requirements on the horse. Good extension.
Hartung, a former champion here in the Caesars Palace Invitational.
And his dismount. A very clean routine, no stops, no deductions, and he'll get a very good score.
You see Jim hobbling a little bit as he walks off. The pommel horse, the only event he's going to compete in, he has an injured knee. The score, 9.75. And now, Mario McCutcheon, tied for fourth place after the floor exercise. That score to beat, 9.75, and he is so powerful, I would think this would be a good event for him, John.
He swings real hard. Watch the beginning, how he hops and twists on the end of the horse. The extension, the toe point. And he's so pleasing to the eye as he performs. He's got great style. Here's his flare. Way off the horse.
scissors. Now he's bending his knee slightly on the scissor work. That is a serious deduction. That'll be a few tenths. But that's the only deduction I see presently. And his dismount. A hop there, another tenth. So there's a few tenths here and there, and I would tell Mario he must work on his scissors.
Mario McCutcheon's score, a 9.75. So that ties him for the lead right now. Bart Connor
was the World Cup champion
is next,
in this event
first place
in
after the floor
1979.
exercise.
Mr. Bart Connor.
And this event is so demanding, John. It's unique, I think. Different from the others. Inverted moves, not very common.
Not very common, but Bart does an inverted move. Watch it. A handstand in the middle of his routine. Swinging on one pommel, working up and down the horse, very clean double leg circles. And there's the handstand. And he pirouettes. This is remarkable.
Putting his signature on this performance, Bart Connor, who was on the 1976 U.S. Olympic team. He is going for his third Olympics, and as always, is impressive.
This was a great routine. Bart demonstrated every quality a super side horse man must show. He had control, extension, unique movements, and originality. Watch this original movement into the handstand. Double leg circles. He's on one pommel. He breaks now into the handstand. Watch how he pulls his body up. I love this move. And now, that's not enough. He pirouettes. An inverted move on the pommel horse.
Bart Connor, that innovative style gets him a 9.85, and he jumps into the lead here. Mitch Gaylord now challenging, and he is in fourth place after the floor exercise.
Look how fast Mitch swings. Nice straight legs, way off the horse.
Does the speed make a difference?
Faster you go sometimes, the better, because it allows you to stretch out and extend. Nice high scissor work. This man has really improved on every event, and this used to be a weak event for him. And look at the dismount. Flies right up into the handstand for the dismount.
Mitch Gaylord waiting for his score. Art Sherlock, the chief coach from the University of California, Los Angeles. Let's look again, John.
One pommel work, so important. And watch this. Right into the handstand for his dismount. He doesn't hesitate. He flies right to the handstand, and he does it with control.
Finishing with a flourish, Mitch Gaylord, a 9.9, and he moves into the lead on the pommel horse. This is a man who can take it away from him, though. Scott Johnson, third right now after the floor exercise. Last year, the all-around champion here at Caesars Palace.
Scott could do it. Starts off with one pommel work, double leg circles, back into the middle, down to the end, hops into the center, and into the flare. Look how quick he works. This man attacks the horse. He doesn't worry about falling off. No time. Total confidence. Good extension on his double leg circles, getting set for his dismount, and the handstand, he had to press it up, and that's the only real deduction that I saw in the routine.
It seemed he had to will himself into that inverted position. But still, he has delighted the crowd. Waiting for the score. It's a 9.8. It will not be good enough to challenge Mitch Gaylord. Tim Daggett is next. 9.9, again the score to beat. And Daggett in fourth place after the floor exercise. And this is an event that he likes very much.
Greg, if you mention about people attacking an event, watch this man attack this event. Look at the flare. Into scissors. High. He does a scissor with a half turn. Back scissor. Good extension. Keeping his legs together. Good toe point. And flares up and down the horse. And back into the center.
He has ignited this audience.
A great dismount. Look at the determination on his face.
There's a young man who knows he's headed for a high score. Let's look at it again.
This is this flare sequence. Talk about attacking an event. Lifts one leg up the horse, down the horse, pulling his body.
And our first 10-point
The score for Tim Daggett, a 10.0, a perfect score. and I have never before seen that on the pommel horse.
Greg, I think this is Tim Daggett's first 10 ever.
With this sterling performance, Tim Daggett wins the pommel horse with a 10.0. In second, Mitch Gaylord, 9.9. And third, Bart Connor, 9.85. And the all-around after 2 events, Tim Daggett leads, 19.8. Bart Connor in second, Mitch Gaylord in third. And now the rings. Moscow 1980, this was the gold medal performance. Would it be enough in 1984, John?
I don't think so. The difficulty has really increased, especially on the dismounts.
Well, we'll see what kind of dismounts we get from our competitors here in Caesar's Palace as the still rings begins with Mitch Gaylord, third place after 2 events. And I understand he has quite a dismount planned.
He certainly does. At one time in 1980, a double back somersault with a full twist might have been the most difficult type of dismount on the rings, but now the gymnasts are performing triple back somersaults on the rings. That's wild. Swing so important. As you swing the giant swings, keep your arms straight. And into an iron cross.
While this event was once a moving ring event, now it is critically important to keep the rings as still as possible.
If the gymnast picks up swing, those are deductions ranging from 1 to 3/10. And he's getting set for his dismount. A triple back somersault. He touched his hands. He went for it. But there's the deduction there. You can see in his face he's not totally happy with that result.
A little bit of disappointment, but again, he is putting this move into his performance, perfecting it for 1984. Let's watch it again.
He just didn't get around all the way. It's difficult going around 3 times. He pulls his knees into his chest. 1, 2, 3. Not all the way around. His hands touch the floor for approximately a 1 to 2/10 deduction.
And Mitch receives a
Mitch Gaylord scored 9.85. And he is disappointed. Scott Johnson up next.
Johnson.
4th place after 2 events.
Watch Scott Johnson's dismount. He doesn't do a triple back. He does a double back somersault, but with 2 twists. It's called a double-double. Press handstand with straight arms.
Difficult enough when the platform is not moving.
Giant swings. Front giant swing. Very much under control. Rings are very steady. His dismount, a double-double. Only with 1 step forward for a great routine.
And his face reddened by the difficulty of that performance, almost as if he'd been upside down too long. The score, 9.9, and he moves into the lead. Scott Johnson. And here, Mario McCutcheon, score to beat 9.9. He's in 5th place. And this is a good event for him, too, because of that awesome strength he has, John. And I say that because he seems to be the most muscled of all the competitors.
He certainly looks like a powerhouse, Greg, but being so big really is a disadvantage. He has to move an awful lot of weight around. He bends his arms just slightly on that. That's a slight deduction. He's lowering himself down into the cross. What do you think?
Very low. That is impressive.
His rings have really improved because his strength has actually increased on the rings over the last 2 years. It's called the hollow back press. He's now getting himself set for the dismount.
26 years old, oldest competitor in the field.
Double back somersault with the full twist. Very controlled. No major deductions. This is one of Mario's best ring routines that I've seen in a long time.
The score for Mario McCutcheon, 9.8. And boos and hisses from the crowd. They think the judges scored him too low. Bart Connor up next, 9.9. Scott Johnson's got the leading score so far in the rings.
I really like the way Bart works the rings. Very smooth. Makes everything look so easy. But it's not.
And no one knows that better than Bart Connor. 1980 Olympic trials. In the rings, tore a bicep muscle. Not only completed the rings, but completed the remaining events to qualify for the team.
He showed real courage. He did 3 more events.
with a torn bicep muscle.
And then had extensive surgery and was laid up for a long time and is still, in a sense, making a comeback.
And here's his dismount, a double back somersault, over-rotates it, lands on his hands. That's at least a 4/10 deduction. Really unfortunate.
Almost perfect until he left the rings. Bart Conner discusses it with Coach Paul Ziertz. The score, 9.5, and that will cost him dearly in the all-around.
UCLA.
And now Tim Daggett in first place after 2 events, and the score to beat 9.9. He comes off that 10 in the pommel horse. His confidence has to be soaring, John.
It certainly is, and I understand he's going to try a triple back somersault for a dismount. Can he stick it? Can he land it? He's in the handstand. Excellent control. Giant swing with straight arms. Look at that crowd. All the eyes are on him. Front giant swing.
Excellent control.
Triple back somersault. And he landed on his hands. Greg, that has to be at least a 2/10 deduction.
And he knows he made that error, but nonetheless, the triple back. Tim Daggett, 9.6. So taking the risk cost him some points. Score to beat, 9.9. Peter Vidmar now, 6th place after 2 events. And he is also good on the rings.
He's elegant on the rings. And risk, such an important factor. If you don't demonstrate risk and courage on every event, you can't get the high score. Pairs across, and he pulls up in an L position. Straight arm press. An inverted cross into a giant swing. A neat little combination. Getting set for his dismount, another giant swing. Giant swing, good swing, double back somersault with a full twist. Not as difficult as a triple back. But he had a 10th deduction on the hop.
Remember, in the rings, there's always the possibility of becoming entangled in the equipment. Peter Vidmar, 9.9, will win the still rings competition.
Here's his dismount. Wonderful extension on the swing. A double back somersault with a full twist and just that hop to the side for the only deduction.
Peter Vidmar wins the still rings with a 9.9. Scott Johnson in 2nd. And in 3rd, Mitch Gaylord. Now in the all-around after 3 events, Mitch Gaylord and Scott Johnson are in the lead. Tim Daggett in 2nd. And Mario McCutcheon 3rd. And we move now to the vault. The Russians won this in 1980. Can an American win in 1984?
I believe we can. We have some great vaulters, and you must be extremely powerful in the run, have to push really hard off the horse, and it's all acrobatics after that.
Mario McCutcheon starts us off.
A handspring front somersault in pike position, just a step forward. That's a 10th deduction. And Greg, the key, the higher and the further away from the horse you are, the better the score. You must have good execution, keep your form, and really nail the landing. As you can see, Mario had a little difficulty on the landing. He took one big step for a 10th deduction.
9.8.
The score for Mario McCutcheon, a 9.85. And John, I think one of the most difficult parts of this event is one chance at it. If you make a mistake, you can be dropped from the all-around. This is Scott Johnson, tied for first place now after 3 events.
Asukahara with a full twist. He lost control on the landing. Had one big hop back and then one slight step.
But appealing to the youngsters in the crowd. And what a future we have in this country. Scott Johnson, the score, 9.80.
Our next competitor,
Bart Conner up next. 5th place after 3 events. Score to beat, 9.85.
Watch the landing. So important. Sukahara with the full twist. Just those small little steps backwards. That's a real killer.
How difficult it must be to control all that forward momentum and land like a dart on a spongy surface. But that's the game, and Bart Conner gets a 9.80. Now, Tim Daggett, 3rd place after 3 events, has his chance to take the lead here. He must beat 9.85.
Powerful run, handspring front somersault,
That's what we call an unfortunate incident.
A pratfall.
That's going to really hurt his all-around score. He picks up at least a 4 to 5/10 deduction on this. Timmy Daggett has really had a setback. It's a fall with a complete support on his backside and his hands. That's at least a 4 to 5/10 deduction.
9.45.
9.45 the score for Tim Daggett. That is his lowest score of the meet. This is Matt Arnott, the youngest man in the competition, age 20, out of the University of New Mexico.
That performs a front somersault with a half turn. It was a very good landing, just one step to the side.
This landing business seems almost impossible, John.
It certainly does. That's why a 10 is almost impossible.
Matt Arnott, 9.65. And this is Terry Bartlett, 8th place after 3 events. He is #2 in Great Britain, now competing out of Penn State. Came to the U.S. to improve his gymnastics.
Handspring front somersault in pike position. One big step forward. But that was one very well-performed vault.
Score for Terry Bartlett, 9.80. Peter Vidmar up now, trying to get back on top. 9.85, the score to beat.
Look at the concentration. Handspring front somersault, a half turn, and there it is. There's the vault that you wanted. He didn't take any additional steps. He nailed it.
I'm glad I saw it, John, because I was beginning to believe it couldn't be done. Peter Vidmar has done it.
And he's pretty excited about it. Watch it. It's a handspring front somersault with a half turn. And here is that superb landing. Here's the half turn. He spots the floor. And he refuses to take any additional steps.
Peter Vidmar, 9.95, as close as you can come to 10. So he is taking the lead. And Phil Cahoy out of the University of Nebraska.
Watch this big man. Sukahara with the full twist. It must be so difficult for Phil to get that huge body around, but he certainly does it. And he performed the Sukahara in pike position.
9.75 for the more than 6-foot-tall Phil Cahoy. Mitch Gaylord tied for first place. Critically important here for him to perform well in the vault. 9.95, again, the score to beat.
Great acrobatic sense, air sense. Sukahara with the full twist. Just a slight step to the side.
That should keep him in contention in the all-around. Congratulations from the other competitors here.
And a Sukahara is a very difficult vault. Watch this. It is a half turn on the horse, a back somersault with a full twist. He sees the floor, the landing, just a slight hop to the side.
9.85 for
Mitch Gaylord's score, 9.85. So the UCLA competitor stays right up there in the all-around standings.
And here's Peter Vidmar's great vault, a handspring front somersault, half turn, and a fantastic landing.
That super glue landing. Peter Vidmar wins the vault with a 9.95. Mario McCutcheon in second, and Mitch Gaylord in third. In the all-around after 4 events, Mitch Gaylord stays on top. Scott Johnson in second, Mario McCutcheon in third. In 1980, the Soviets won on the parallel bars. In 1984, the Americans will challenge. And while we get ready for the horizontal bar competition, let's take a look at parallel bar highlights from Caesars Palace. In third position with a 9.85, Mitch Gaylord.
Greg, the parallel bar exercise must consist of swinging, flight, and hold parts. Strength can also be demonstrated, but the swinging and flight part should predominate. And he's become a master at all this. There's all these swinging elements, and here's a strength part. Presses into the handstand. Very graceful. His dismount, a high double back somersault, only a slight hop backwards.
And the 4 judges awarded Mitch Gaylord a 9.85, third place in the parallel bars. Second place went to Terry Bartlett. He came into this event tied for 7th place, but he got a 9.85 with this performance on the parallel bars.
Terry has really improved on this event. Coming to this country and training with Carl Shire, the coach of Penn State, has helped. Look how graceful he swings. A back somersault, a stutz to the handstand. Very elegant swing parts.
And very nice control.
I like the way he kept his feet together, good toe point, and a solid double back somersault.
From Great Britain, Terry Bartlett, second place, and 9.85. And the winner of the parallel bars, Phil Cahoy. He was also tied for 7th coming into this event, and then he showed his long, sleek form and won. And John, it was very pretty.
Watch what he does as a mount on one bar, and he does a very unique dismount. He presses right into the handstand on one bar in the center, and now the swing elements.
Balance, strength, and flexibility all demonstrated in his opening move.
Here comes a front somersault right into the handstand. Pirouette, getting set for his dismount, a double front somersault. Nobody else in the meet was performing this movement. Just a slight hop to the side, Greg.
Phil Cahoy, 9.9, first place in the parallel bars, and he is building toward 1984, 17 years as a gymnast, and he plans a medical career, and look at the precision here. So Phil Cahoy wins with a 9.9, Terry Bartlett second, 9.85, and in third, Mitch Gaylord. In the all-around now, Mitch Gaylord holding on to first, 49.25, followed by Scott Johnson and Mario McCutcheon. The final event, the horizontal bar, the glamour event, won by a Bulgarian in 1980, but John, the Americans are in contention.
They certainly are. We have the big dismounts and we have the big releases to score a 10, just as this Bulgarian did in 1980.
Originality and extreme risk, the only way to get those high scores. Scott Johnson, second place after 5 events, and this horizontal bar competition, a chance for him to perhaps take the all-around lead. Francis Allen, his coach at the University of Nebraska, helps him up, and now Johnny's on his own.
Starts off with a stall to shoot. Drops one arm to the side, one-arm giant swing. Now he's going to perform a very difficult combination, a one-arm giant swing to a big release called a ginger. And here it is.
Incredible strength involved in controlling those forces.
And now the big dismount, a triple back somersault coming up. Watching him in practice, will he make it? 3 times around, he doesn't make it. He lands on his hands. That's at least a 2 to 3/10 deduction, but you have to go for it.
Scott Johnson, last year's champion here, a little bit short on that landing on the dismount. Here it is.
3 times around, pulls his knees into his chest in tuck position, but doesn't get all the way around and lands on his hands.
A small error, but a costly one. The score for Scott Johnson, 9.70. But he has showed us that they are going to go for the daring moves in this meet. Now, Mario McCutcheon, third place after 5 events, score to beat 9.7, and he has a unique routine.
He certainly does. He has a move named after him called the McCutcheon. The only one doing it in the United States, a one-arm giant swing to reverse hex. There he is. I'd like to hold on with one hand while you do that.
Again, the strength, the timing, the precision, all of them must be exact.
Inverted giant swings, and here comes another release of a Ronin vault. Back into the handstand. Getting set for his dismount. This is a great routine. Really stylish, very good form, and a double back somersault in layout position.
A dagger-like landing for Mario McCutcheon, and the response here, tremendous. Caesar's Palace is filled with applause.
They want to see him get a good score, and they've been supporting him throughout this event. Now here's the McCutcheon, a one-arm giant swing, and then he goes over the bar backwards.
Ladies and gentlemen,
look at this.
10.0 for Mario
And how it dazzled the judges as well as the audience. Mario McCutcheon scores a 10.0, a perfect score, and he is caught out by the crowd. And look at that. Exultation. And now Phil Cahoy, 7th place after 5 events. The score to beat, well, I can't even say that, John. He has to get a 10. How can you win here?
Well, you just really can't. But you must get up there and do the best job you can, and Phil is
really serious. You can see he has his competition face on. Tremendous concentration. He has a job to do. Let's see how he does.
It's got to be difficult to come out after a 10 with that long applause.
Phil is a wonderful performer on the horizontal bar. One-arm giant swing with pirouettes. He has a big release also. He has an inverted giant swing. And from here, a big front somersault in pike position.
That looked clean.
I wouldn't want to spot him. If he ever fell off, he'd probably kill you.
Over 6 feet tall. Slicing through the air. The dismount.
Double back somersault, the full twist. A great routine.
And again, this crowd is getting its money's worth here at Caesars Palace.
The only mistake I saw was a slight hop forward on his dismount. Watch this big release. He jams his feet through his hands to inverted giant swings. And from here, a front somersault in pike position. Very easy to hook your foot on that bar. But he was way above that bar.
9 feet in the air. The risks are enormous. Phil Cahoy, 9.90. We are getting a great show on the horizontal bar.
Our next competitor was an all
Coming up now, Terry Bartlett from Great Britain and competing out of Penn State. Again, the top score already achieved here, Mario McCutcheon's 10. And that's what Terry Bartlett must shoot for. Perfection.
It's called a stall to shoot, right into the handstand. Very good swing elements. He just lost it there. A reverse heck, he got stalled upside down. You must not stop while you're swinging on the horizontal bar. Another little mistake there. Nothing tragic, but a little 10th here, a little 10th there, it adds up.
And after what we've seen, they almost seem like glaring errors.
He's getting set for his dismount. Double back somersault, the full twist. That was a very pleasant-looking landing, wasn't it?
The landing was perfect. Coming down, solid, not moving any part of his body. The trouble in his routine, John, was, as you pointed out, in the beginning.
He gets stalled in the handstand. Right there, bends his arms just before his reverse hecht, and that's a 1 to 2/10 deduction. You're not allowed to stop swinging on the horizontal bar.
And the score,
Terry Bartlett, 9.75. And there is some opposition to that from the audience. But Peter Vidmar is up next, and John, he was in serious contention for a gold medal in the horizontal bar at the recent World Championship until...
Well, he tried a very big trick, which he said he's going to try today, and he missed the bar, fell off, and it was a 5/10 deduction, and that just killed his chances.
Dropped to 8th place in the horizontal bar, but again, he had to
And here it comes, the vault to a Ginga. Smooth as silk this time. Couldn't have been performed any better. A high front somersault in straddle position. This man has gotten his wings. A stall to shoot, getting set for his dismount. So pretty, so much under control. A full twisting double back somersault. What a great routine.
That landing was so precise, it is hard to believe he was able to do it from that extreme height. Peter Vidmar of UCLA, a sterling performance.
Watch this move. He missed it at the World Championships, but he knows he must master it, and he certainly did that today. He vaults over the bar, and he performs a Ginga. The vault to a Ginga, which is a flyway, half turn, 2 big releases at one time. Phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal.
And the audience reaction should tell you what the score was. A perfect 10 for Peter Vidmar. The horizontal bar bringing out the best in America's best. And now Tim Daggett, 6th place after 5 events. He must also score a 10, and he has gotten one earlier in the pommel horse.
Well, Tim is going to attack this event, as always, and a big release. A Ginga, he was way above the bar.
Rather than being psyched out by the previous high scores, he seems, John, to have been inspired by them.
It's a sign of a real champion, and that's the way Tim Daggett works. That's the way he reacts. He's getting set for his dismount. It's a great routine so far. A double back somersault, a full twist. It is a wonderful routine.
Read the expression in that face. Body language says that Tim Daggett couldn't be happier. And again, he has roused this crowd. The cheers echoing throughout this pavilion.
Watch the dismount. It's a double back somersault in layout position with a full twist. And under control.
In slow motion, not a flaw. The hands go up, another 10.
This is phenomenal. I've never seen this in American competition before.
3 10s, and now young Matt Arnott, who dreams of 84, but also dreams of 88 at age 20. And he is gaining some real experience here. Caesar's Palace giving him a chance to showcase himself against America's best.
And he's certainly having that opportunity here today, but what pressure on such a young man. And here he is, a high front somersault. Very pretty. A one-arm giant swing. You can hear a pin drop in this arena. Getting set for his dismount. He's doing a good job. Double back somersault with a full twist, just a slight step backwards. A very good routine, just some small errors here and there, but I have to say he did a marvelous job considering the pressure on him.
3 10s he had to follow, the least international and national experience, but he proved himself an able competitor here.
Well, he just performed his front somersault. He does a pirouette to a very pretty one-arm giant swing.
Matt Arnott earns a 9.9, so excellence is the standard of the day here. Bart Connor, the most seasoned of the men in this competition, is next, 4th place after 5 events. Concentration.
But the elegant performer on the horizontal bar, he can't afford any errors. A one-arm giant swing. Another one to a pirouette. Very smooth movements. Inverted giant swings. Pirouette. Toe on, half turn, one-arm giant swing again. Getting set for his dismount.
The audience mesmerized.
Just that one step backwards. That's the only real error or deduction that I could see.
Bart Connor, always a favorite in Las Vegas.
Bart is a great gymnast, but I was a little surprised he played a little conservative on the horizontal bar. Very pretty one-arm giant swings, but he was missing that big release that we saw the other athletes perform. And here is his one-arm giant swing.
9.95.
The judges agree. The score, 9.95. Perhaps a big move would have pushed him up to 10. Now, Mitch Gaylord, the leader after 5 events. We've had 3 10s already on the horizontal bar. Gaylord must have a very high score to hold on to that overall lead.
Well, he's a real acrobat on the horizontal bar. Watch how aggressively he performs. He's very stretched out. And watch his big release. Here it comes. One-arm giant swing to a ginga. Back giant. Back giant. Double back somersault, the layout position, and a great landing.
Beautiful exercise.
Mitch Gaylord is extremely satisfied with that one. The crowd, oh my, what a show they have seen here. The horizontal bar has been a delight to all of us.
And here's the stall to shoot, and here's this big release. A one-arm giant swing to a ginga. A flyaway half turn. What a great set.
Ladies and gentlemen.
And John, can you believe this? The score for Mitch Gaylord, 10.0. He is tied for first place. We have had 4 10s in the horizontal bar.
I'm really stunned. I've never witnessed this. I've never seen this in any competition. And these are marvelous, marvelous routines. And watch the dismount that Mitch Gaylord performs with perfection. A full twisting, double back somersault.
And a first for American gymnastics. Mitch Gaylord, 10. Peter Vidmar, a perfect 10. Tim Daggett, a 10. And Mario McCutcheon, a 10. 4 10s for first place in the horizontal bar. And here they are, sharing their medal. Tim Daggett to Mitch Gaylord. Mitch Gaylord to Mario McCutcheon. They're going to have to mince some more of this first place medal here, the gold. And then Mario McCutcheon to Peter Vidmar. And he walks away with that medal. The business is over. It's time for a little fun. 4 of America's best. And in the all-around, remember, the maximum score is 60. Mitch Gaylord almost gets it. He wins it all. Mario McCutcheon second. Bart Connor in third. Scott Johnson fourth, tied with Peter Vidmar. Tim Daggett in sixth. John?
Tim Daggett scores 2 10s. Tim, awesome. How does it feel?
Very good. You know, scoring 110, you know, in your competitive career, I guess that would, you know, that's one of the goals that every gymnast strives for. And to do it twice in one night it's a big thrill. I'm really happy.
That's great. Good luck next year.
Thank you very much.
Peter, a 10, a great comeback. What an awesome high bar team, and you were a world champion on high bar. What does this look like?
Well, I was very pleased with my 4 performances, a 299s, a 995, and a 10. And I certainly can't complain about that. And I had a mistake that was just I guess a lapse of concentration on pommel horse, and I had a little rough problem on a parallel bar routine just because it's a new routine for me. But I'm pleased with the way things went. It's a good kick in the pants for me to get going for the 1984 Olympics, so I'm really pleased.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Mr. McCutcheon, he is the champion of the United States, and Mario, a 10 on horizontal bar. Did that ever happen before?
Yes, it's happened once before. I scored a 10 in compulsory exercises at USA Championships, but it's always a great feeling to do it whenever you do.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Mitch, it looks heavy. It looks heavy. Mitch, I'll tell you something. It was very impressive, your performances today, and it seems to me you are really now #1 gun to go after.
Well, thank you very much, John. It was a great meet. I really enjoyed it. I've been here, this is my 3rd year now, and I've never won it until this year, and I'm really happy about it. It means a lot to me. And I'm just like to say USA Gymnastics is really on the upswing, and I'm psyched about that, too.
Well, good luck in 1984.
Well, thank you very much.
Greg?
You picked it.
I picked it.
You're terrific. I got to give you credit for that one. But you know what I'm amazed at? The depth here. 7 different winners in 6 events. 5 perfect 10s. That's phenomenal.
Well, it's never happened before where there have been so many 10s in one competition in the United States. The American team has never demonstrated such exceptional skill, and I'm very impressed with the depth, and I believe Peter Vidmar and Mitch